say, was a 5%. So when I got back in the cell, he was telling me, said, oh, you a blood, huh? I said, yeah, I'm affiliated with the Bloods. And he was like, okay. He said, okay. He said, well, he said, I'm a 5%. And I said, all right. I said, I don't know what that is. But, he said, man, I'm God. And I said, damn. So when he said that, brother, I was like, what? I'm like, what you mean? He was like, I'm God, man. He was like, you God. And I was like, oh shit, here we go.
Right.
But no, man, dude was very cool, man, very respectful.
Now, were the 5%ers, were they deep in there as well, with just like the small?
They wasn't. They were small there. They wasn't deep because we was in Oklahoma, so we in the South region.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Midwest region. All the 5% usually be deep on the coast.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it really went. It was like 3 or 4 of them there. So
man.
Yeah. So I'm in there with Naheem. So he give me Message to the Black Man. It's the first time I ever seen this book, brother. And so he was like, read this, brother. And I said, all right, I'll read it. Now, you already know, when you first come into a situation, man, you just coming from the streets, you fresh off the streets, man, you want to read hood novels. I read Coldest Winter Ever. I read Be More Careful. I want to read hood stuff.
Right.
That's why my mind is still connected. My mind is still connected from the streets. I'm fresh.
Right.
So I want to get connected in a line with some of these hood books. So he said, read this. He gave me Message to the Black Man. I'm looking on the front of it, and I see the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but I didn't know who he was at first when I first seen it. So he said, you know who this is? And I said, no, I don't. And he said, you ever heard of Farrakhan? And I said, I think so. And I was like, I'm telling you, I was so dead mentally, bro. I said,
wow.
He was like, no, he's not dead. He started laughing. He was like, no, he's not dead. And I was like, oh, I thought he got killed or something.
Man.
And he was like, no. So he gave me the book. So I read it. And after I read it, it took me like 4 or 5 days, brother, to read the book. I read it. I put the book back on his bed, went out throughout my day. When I came back in the cell, the book was on my bed again. And I was like, maybe he was cleaning up, and I put the book back on his bed. And then when I left out again, I come back in the room, the book was on my bed again. And I'm like, man, this dude playing games. So when it's time to lock down at night, I'm asking him, like, what's going on? So he was like, did you read it? And I was like, yeah, I'm finished with it. So he was like, read it again. And I was like, what? He said, read the book again, little brother. I was like, all right. I read it again. The first time it took me like 5 days. The second time it took me like 4 days. Okay. And so after I read it the second time, I put the book back on his bed. We go through the same process again. Go out the room, the book on my bed again, man. And I come in the room, I'm like, let me holler at you, man. I'm like, yo, what kind of games you playing, man? And the brother like, brother, I'm not playing no games with you. He said, do I look like a man that play games? And I just was like, man, I'm just saying, man. He like, read the book again, brother. And I said, I'm not reading it no more. He said, brother, trust me. He said, read the book again. I read it again. It took me 2 days to read the book. After I finished the book, man, we was locked down, and we were just in there talking. He said, I wanted you to read this book 3 times because the first time you read the book for knowledge. And he said the second time you read it for wisdom. And the third time you read it for an understanding.
Yes, sir.
And he told me, he said, everything in life, this is how it's going to go from here on out in your life. You need to start seeking things in 3s. And man, when he told me that, I was like, damn, this might be God.